It's the Hoops Outsiders podcast. It's me, VT, and we back with another episode of the Hoops Outsiders podcast. And as always, we got a lot of NBA hoops to cover. Man, it's been a crazy week in the NBA. A lot of things have been said, a lot of disrespect, a lot of shade been thrown. And it has a lot of people upset. We finally heard from Carmelo Anthony. He did an interview with Stephen A. Smith on ESPN First Take. We're going to get into that. But first, go ahead and click on Twitter on your smartphone. Follow me at Temple of Hoops. Switch over, go to our Instagram. Follow me there at Temple of Hoops TV. I appreciate it. Holla at your boy. If you like the podcast, let me know. Shout me out. If you don't like it, hey, I don't care. Shout me out there too. I'm always looking to improve. Criticism is welcome, as well as praises. But let's jump into this podcast and let's talk about the biggest news that has taken place, and it's none other than, well, he's used to it. LeBron James, the king. Somebody's always calling my boy out. This time it was from someone that I don't think he expected. Former Cleveland general manager David Griffin, who was there when LeBron James won Cleveland's first ever NBA title. David Griffin did a piece with Sports Illustrated called How David Griffin Rebuilt the Pelicans and His World, written by Jake Fisher. And in this piece, David Griffin explained how he hated his job while LeBron James was there. He talked about the job being stressful. He talked about it not being sustainable. He talked about just pretty much saying that the whole reason behind his unhappiness seemed that it stemmed from LeBron James. And he did go on the jump to clarify that some of the things that the writer put in the piece was taken out of context. I don't buy it. And I don't buy it for the simple fact that when someone is writing an article and you have worked with someone that is such a high profile, probably the most known celebrity in the world, that is a sure shot, 100% clickbait. If you mention that person's name and it's any way controversial, negative, you know that's going to make a story. Do I fault the writer, Jake Fisher? No, I don't. Jake has a job to do. Jake has to put out articles that generate traffic to his employer's site, being Sports Illustrated. Which is more interesting or intriguing? A story about the Pelicans? By all means, haven't done doodly squat in the NBA. And yes, they do have the number one overall pick, Zion Williamson. And he's been done the highest rated, the most talked about young female athlete since LeBron James. But he haven't done anything yet. Everybody, when it comes to the New Orleans Pelicans, are in a show me first State. LeBron James is proven. LeBron James is the impetus behind a lot of this changes that we're seeing in the NBA now. Player empowerment. Players moving from team to team. Players starting their own media companies. Players that are having success not just on the basketball court, as you've seen by LeBron James' famous hoodie, which I have to get for myself and for my son, more than an athlete. LeBron James was behind all of the police brutality movement, trying to limit that in the wakes of Trayvon Martin and many others. So when you say negative things about LeBron James, you know that it's going to make headline news. And it did. And that's why David Griffin felt the need to go on and try to, as everyone does, when they say something idiotic and they say something that they know that's going to get put out there, they always say it's taken out of context. I don't believe David Griffin for one minute. Somehow David Griffin was trying to get something off his chest, something that he's been holding in. And this was just his time to do it. Did he think that this was going to make as much noise as it did? He had to think that. But sometimes we start feeling ourselves. And we jump out there and we say things just to see how much of a Teflon done that we are. He's in a new situation now. He has a young team. He has a young superstar who we all think is going to be special. And now David Griffin is beating his chest. And for the most part, LeBron James, he takes a lot of trash talk from a lot of people. But you don't see him come back like a lot of his peers, Kevin Durant being one who has a burner account. And LeBron James, he may have one. I don't know. But we haven't caught him like we caught Kevin Durant. But he's not going back and forth with people of his critics on the internet. But LeBron James did have something to say following after what David Griffin had to say about him. LeBron James on Twitter posts, all right, enough is enough. The throne has been played with too much, and I ain't for horseplay. Ether coming soon. With a big smiley face. Then he got the fire. Boy, he got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, he got 9 fire emojis in the king hat. Hashtag James Gang, and he got that black fist up there. I hope LeBron James come back this year a beast. I do. I really do. But a part of me just always say, man, my boy's getting older. And I know I'm old. I'm older than LeBron. And sometimes I feel just completely tired. But I don't work out like LeBron. I don't eat the top-notch food that LeBron eats. So I'm sure LeBron feels a lot better than me. And I hope that he does, because I want LeBron to come back this year and turn back the clock. I want to see a youthful LeBron James. I want to see lift. I want to see that desire and that hunger. Something that David Griffin also said, that after winning that championship in 2016 in Cleveland, that LeBron James didn't have that hunger to win anymore. He didn't have that animal in him. David Griffin. Shame on you. Shame on you. and to come on the jump, trying to walk back what you said and try to use a lot of the things LeBron James have said publicly against himself to clarify what you said, to support the things that you said about LeBron. You use things he said publicly in the media to give reason or justification for why you said what you said. Miss me with that, David. Miss me with that. They always say the ones that's closest to you are the ones that will hurt you the most. And that's exactly what David Griffin did. He used everything he knew about LeBron and used it against him. But when he needed help, when he needed that extra media attention for his wife's new business, he reached out to Bron. Bron shared his wife's news business on his Instagram page, Instagram or Twitter page. I'm not sure which one it was, but he shared it to all of his followers, which is in the millions. Oh, he can come to LeBron for that. But I wonder if everything that he told Jake Fisher for Sports Illustrated, I can bet you he didn't tell LeBron that. If you felt that way about LeBron, did you have that conversation with LeBron? That's what I want to know. And if you did, it still is no excuse for you to come out publicly with that to trash a friend. That's if you consider LeBron a friend, because I'm assuming LeBron considered you a friend, because when he got fired from the Cavaliers, LeBron James again put out a message on social media appreciating David Griffin for the job he did. He pretty much gave you a letter of recommendation to go get a job somewhere else. And I'm of the same mindset as a lot of people that has come down on David Griffin for his remarks against LeBron. That if he didn't manage the Cleveland Cavaliers during the LeBron James times he was there in Cleveland and not have won that ring, we wouldn't even know David Griffin. Wouldn't even know him. But now since he think he doesn't need LeBron, oh, he want to talk slick. Man, I don't know David Griffin. Never met him. I probably never will. But just reading that article, man, it didn't sound good. I can tell you that much. It didn't sound good at all. But that's all I'm going to say about David Griffin. I'm not going to harp on him too much more. I had to say what I had to say about him. We're gonna keep it moving and go ahead on and start talking about somebody that has come out of the woodworks, someone that we've all have been speculating whether or not he's gonna ever touch a floor again, and that's Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony finally came from up under a rock from wherever he was hiding to actually defend himself, which is something I feel like he should have been done long time ago, especially if you wanted to play. But to me, his not defending himself, to me, has hurt him. But we're running out of time. But I'm going to come back, and we're going to hear from Carmelo Anthony, and a lot of what he talked about in his interview with Stephen A. Smith. And I think a lot of reason why he came out because of the star NBA trainer Chris Brickley went on the Breakfast Club, and he was asked by DJ Envy about Carmelo Anthony, why he's not in the league. And he had some interesting things to say about Carmelo and why he's not in the league. And I think that actually prompted